Yeah.
Bonjour, welcome everybody to the Wales Eve of Match briefing. Delighted to be joined by Wales skills coach Neil Jenkins, Sam Costello and Dan Biggar. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
We'll get straight into the questions. Please raise your hand, wait for the microphone and introduce yourself. First question, please. Yeah.
Matt Southgate, ITV News. Dan, what is it about these weeks that excites you?
I think the first thing is the prize at the end of it. I think we've spoken all week about we're not quite ready to go home yet. I think, you know, it's funny how things and how time changes, isn't it? Because probably 3, 4, 5 months ago, somebody had said we were going to win our pool and be in a real strong position to get to a semi-final. People would have thought you were talking absolute madness. So it just shows how much confidence we've had and how much belief we've had in the group as the weeks have gone by. The more time we spent together, and you know, this is the reason why you play rugby, really. You know, big occasions, quarter-final of a World Cup, and it's just been a really special week. It's been brilliant being based where we've been based. I think all of us are really glad that we're on this side of the draw for a few reasons, but probably because we get to play here in this magnificent stadium as well, and sample something a little bit different. And yeah, it's just been a brilliant week, and like I said, the prize at the end of it is exactly why we play these, you know, why we want to be involved in weeks like this.
Obviously, it's knockout rugby now. There's a lot of jeopardy with these games, and particularly for yourself, there's a lot riding on this now. Have you allowed yourself to think about that at all?
Not really. No, it's just been different. For us, it's not really any different, Matt, if I'm honest. We've almost been playing knockout rugby since our first pool match against Fiji, because probably if we didn't get the job done in that game, we would have faced a real uphill battle. And then we played Australia, which was a do or die. And so we've sort of almost had a couple of knockout matches already along the way. And for me, I'm not thinking about anything. I really don't want this to be my last day as a rugby player for Wales. I want it to be another 2 weeks, and hopefully that will be the case.
Thank you.
Next question, please. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Dan, just on that, there's a few of you who this could be the last World Cup for, isn't it? Is that driving motivation at all?
I think there's probably a little bit of both. There's probably an extra motivation, an extra little bit of pressure. But I think the few of us who are in that boat have tried to really enjoy the tournament for what it's been, rather than putting too much pressure on ourselves and sort of taking it week by week and just enjoying each place. It's been an unbelievable World Cup. I think the stadiums, the cities, the people, it's been incredible. So for us in that boat who are definitely finishing, it's not an if. It will be finishing after the World Cup. There is a little bit of extra pressure, but it's also a huge motivation. Like I said to Matt, it's something that I definitely don't want my last day as a Welsh rugby player to be losing a quarter-final. No, absolutely not. So we've worked as hard as we possibly can all week, put in all the extra little bits on the laptop, on the pitch. Not so much in the gym for myself, but trying to do as much as I can for this team and for us as individuals to make sure we go out on a high rather than a disappointing end.
And you mentioned the people in France, quite a lot of Welsh people down in the port. How big an influence could they be on your performance, your game in the stadium?
Yeah, it's been quite strange for us, because we've been in almost sort of a bit of a bubble out here in our own little world, and I think we've noticed as the weeks have gone on, the support for us from back home has just grown and grown and grown, and the belief has grown. So for us, it's absolutely huge. We're hoping to have a load of Welsh fans in here tomorrow, and loads of families, friends are coming to the game. So I got 13 people staying in my house in Toulon. So we've got a fair old few people there. So it just shows the interest and what happens when you do well in this Wales team. The interest grows, and hopefully it'll be a huge help for us on Saturday.
I hope the charge.
Dan, just how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm okay. Yeah, sort of just managed to get myself back this week. Probably unexpected sit on the bench last week, watching Costi bring the team home really well. Yeah, no, I'm pretty good. All good to go for tomorrow.
Did you think when you did it that could be a World Cup?
I thought that there was initially. I thought it was going to be really difficult, but I've managed to heal up okay, and basically just be with the physios pretty much every day for the last 2.5 weeks, and and get myself back for this. It was one which I really didn't want to miss, and just really lucky, I suppose, lucky and grateful to be sat here in front of you guys preparing for a game tomorrow. And yeah, it was one of those where I thought like it would have been it would have been such a shame to have ended it that way, but like I said, I think it's important to say it's not about myself or anybody else leaving the team tomorrow. It's about making sure that we stay on, because with the belief and the confidence we've got in the group now is really high. We know we're playing a very, very tough team tomorrow, a very good team who perhaps they've probably got a little bit more to come than what they've shown in the pool stages, and we probably know that they're going to be right up for this tomorrow, and we know how difficult it's going to be. So I think we have to make sure we manage expectations as well. I think a lot of people in Wales just think we've got to turn up tomorrow to get the job done, and we've spoken all week how that is the absolute opposite of what our mindset is. We know how difficult this game's going to be, and we're going to have to play a lot better than what we probably have done in the pool stages to win. So, yeah, hopefully we can deliver a really good performance and make this World Cup even more special than it already has been.
Yeah, next question.
Yes, Biggar, what is your opinion about Santiago Carreras?
Fabulous rugby player, whether he's playing at 10 or 15. Just can change the game in the space of one moment of brilliance. And he's someone that we've spoken about all week, trying to, obviously from our point of view, trying to put as much pressure on him as possible. But we know that a lot of the times when he comes under a lot of pressure, there's moments of brilliance in him as well. So we're just trying to make sure we focus. Obviously we've picked out key individuals for Argentina this week, him being one of them, and we need to make sure that we're alive for everything we've spoken about, being really, really good at things which don't require a huge amount of talent, whether that's kick chase, putting pressure on 9 and 10. But yeah, like I said, he's a fabulous rugby player, whatever position he plays in, and I'm sure he's going to be a threat to us tomorrow.
Thank you. Next question at the back there.
Elgin Alderman from The Times. One for you, Neil. Obviously, there's a lot of experience of World Cup quarterfinals in the team, but also amongst the coaching staff, like of yourself from pre-Warren's era. How much has that played a part in the build-up, looking back on past experiences?
Well, it's difficult, really. I think, obviously, as Gats would have said, and he's alluded to this week already, is not trying to coach too much. Look, these boys are fantastic players. They know the game inside out. So there's a lot of that, really, being player-led. Obviously, there's some influence from the coaches, but more often than not, it's all about the players. And as we all know, as Biggs already said, it's a do-or-die game tomorrow. It's that simple. Knockout rugby. You need to be on it. Playing against a very, very good side in Argentina was, a lot of talented players. As I said, we just need to focus on ourselves, bring what we can to the table, and if we do that, we'll win with good chances, no doubt in that. But it's going to be a very tight, physical, probably uncompromising game tomorrow. So, one we're looking forward to.
Neil, Matt Lloyd, BBC. A fourth quarter final that Warren Gatland has taken Wales to. What does Warren do that brings the best out of teams at tournaments, even when leading up to the tournament might not have looked that great?
Yeah, no, I think that, Gats has always prided himself on basically the time that we've had together. So we've met up at the end of May. Most of the guys come in at that given time, and obviously have gone through the mill pretty much in that, as already would have been mentioned, Switzerland and Turkey. The training sessions have been pretty brutal, and it puts you in a good place, puts you in a place where you're conditioned, you can play at a high level, you can play at a high ball in play, and that's something we probably pride ourselves on over a long period of time in that 12 years with Gats. I'm probably trying to get back there a little bit in this summer that we've just had, and obviously in these games that we've had, the pre-World Cup games, and obviously the World Cup group game so far. So I think that you probably could see evidence of that in the games that we've played and the way we've gone about it. And I think it just gives you confidence, not just the players but the staff as well, that knowing that we can mix it, we can stay in there for long periods, even against the best sides. And I think we've shown that so far in the tournament. But again, we're going to have to go up another couple of gears tomorrow, there's no doubt in that, for what's at stake and who we're playing against.
And Dan, you've been involved in these occasions before. Is there anything different this time, or is there anything about the squad this time that you just makes you more confident than ever before?
I think what we've had a really a really happy group of players from day one. We've had a really good group of players, and I think this group they've grown and grown as the weeks and months have gone by. I think previously, if you look back to 2019, we had a really settled team were quite comfortable with each other, and was pretty much the same team for 18 months, 2 years before the World Cup. But I think this group has really come into its own. You've got, there's a real sort of mix of players. You've got a few of us older lads who are finishing up. You've got some of the younger guys who are coming through, and then a bit of a mix in the middle. So it's a bit different to previous campaigns. But what we've done is we've mixed in really well as a group. Whether you're 20, 21 or 34, we've all mixed in really well, got on really well, enjoyed each other's company, and we tried to have some fun along the way as well. Every day we have, every meeting we have a bit of a challenge of the week, or we have a bit of an entertainment presentation or thought of the day, things like that. So we've really enjoyed we've actually enjoyed meetings and training and things, as well as working hard. And I'm sure Jenks will agree, when we've had to flick the switch and get on the training pitch and work really hard, we've done that, but we've also really enjoyed each other's company off the field as well, whether that's going out for dinner and meetings. Outside of rugby has been a real plus for us as a group.
Who's led the entertainment?
Well, probably not the entertainments committee, actually, the people who've been on there. So I've had to step up myself a couple of times. Dylan Lewis is sort of chief. Basically, he's got photos on everybody, so you never quite know what's coming up in those slides. So I'm sure if we win this week, we'll make sure we have a good one next week planned.
Thank you. Next question.
Hi, Benjamin Dodon, Journal Sud-Ouest. Neil, what makes you think that Argentina will kick a lot?
There's not much space in Test football, so I think they're pretty good aerially as well, and obviously they've got a decent kicking game as well. So I think there'll be a lot of kicking tomorrow, just the nature of some of the Test matches that are played at this level. When there's a lot on the line, I think, as I said, there's not an awful lot of space, and you've got to try and earn that right and earn that space really, so that you can attack. So the kicking game plays a big part in that, so enables your team to attack a little bit more. So I think there will be a lot of kicks tomorrow, especially early on, trying to find each other out, not wanting to give up too much territory, and not wanting to invite the opposition into your 22 as such. And it's a very difficult place to defend nowadays. If teams do get into your 22, there's a lot of sides at this moment in time that are clinical. Argentina got some fantastic players, some big forwards that can carry and put a dent in you. So I think it's the same with us as well. I think they'll be doing their utmost to try and stop us getting into them areas. It's a big part of Test football in today's game, and you want to try and keep them away from it as long as possible. But I certainly think quarterfinals, do or die. I think there'll be a fair bit of it tomorrow, there's no doubt in that, and hopefully there'll be some good kicking as well. I think the aerial game's a big part of the game. Argentina got some fantastic aerial players, and likewise ourselves, so should be a good battle in that area as well, and trying to earn the right and earn the space.
Yeah.
Sam, please teach me. Dan Biggar is a great player, so what do you think of him?
Careful now, Costa. Sitting quite close. He's a great player, great bloke as well. I think that's what makes him so special. Obviously been looking at him a lot in the training ground and trying to pick up as many tips as I can. And for me, just the way he leads this team is just so special. How he speaks to players and how he delivers his message and what he wants. So for me as a young 10, you wouldn't want anyone else really. Just everything about him. And then off the field, bad bloke either. So it's costly boy.
Thank you. Final question over here. Thank you.
Dan, Sam, John Thomas was speaking earlier in the week about relating your individual ability to super strengths and superheroes. How important has that been? And also, which superheroes are you both?
I think it's been very important because what we've I think Jenks slightly alluded to it. We've sort of gone back to a bit of basics really, and we've spoken all our meetings about making sure you play to your own individual strengths. There's no point somebody trying to be world class at something that they're never going to be world class at. So we've tried to focus on what we're individually really good at. So we're just trying to, that's what we try to focus on for the whole tournament really, and hopefully what we've done is we've brought all those individual strengths together and forged quite a strong collective team, and we hope that that's again something that we've referenced today, that we're going to make sure that we just play to our individual strengths and make that a team collective. And I can't remember, who were you? What was yours? Jack. Yeah. I think mine was bullseye, I think. So put a bit of pressure on for tomorrow. So yeah, no, it's just been, like I said, we've tried to find different ways to try and keep things a little bit interesting in camp, because you're away and you're together for such a long period of time. It's, you know, it's impossible to just have the same meetings, same voices, same themes in meetings and training all the time. And we've tried to really mix things up and have a bit of fun with it along the way, which so far has proved relatively successful.
Neil, Sam, Dan, thank you very much for your time. Go well tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
everyone
Thank
for
you.
attending. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you, guys. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Take care.
Cheers.